So congratulations, you won your claim and you were expecting a fat back paycheck, but you got close to nothing. I've been there, and if you've been there, stand by because we're going to talk about a general education on back pay in this video. But first, my name is Mark, the founder of Veteran Nexus, and I make these videos to provide free content for you, the veteran, to push you forward in your journey to getting what you deserve. So that said, we're talking about back pay. And I got to double down on the fact that I'm not a lawyer, attorney, accredited agent, or doctor. None of this is legal or financial advice. A lot of people don't like talking about back pay, I've noticed, because it's confusing. And a confused veteran is an upset veteran, especially when there's money involved. So we're going to talk about a general education. And I cannot stress enough that you should DYOR, do your own research, do your own calculations, because this can get a little crazy if you have a lot of service-connected disabilities, if you don't follow the 365-day rule, which we'll talk about. There's a lot of factors that could affect your back pay, and ultimately it's specific to you. So do your own research, or if you're getting help from somewhere, make sure you ask them how much back pay you're going to get and what the ideal strategy is for you. That said, let's talk about the 365-day rule. If you get nothing else from this video, there's this thing I'm calling the 365-day rule. And basically, in order for you to get the back pay and keep the back pay train rolling, you have to file a claim within 365 days of the last decision. So vets are like, hey man, I got out 4 years ago. Where's my $60,000 from my claim or something? Well, it doesn't work that way. It's more that you get back paid to the date of your last, either your last decision, or if it's been more than a year after that last decision, you're going to get paid from the date you started your last claim. I'm oversimplifying it. So if you got out of the service on, July 31st, 2023, and you filed a claim on August 1st and you lost it, and then you continuously filed claims within a year of those losses, your decision letter date, okay, that back pay train is still going. And that's what you see with veterans who have like $100,000 in back pay. Normally they're filing continuously following that 365-day rule, or they filed the BVA appeal, it resolved 5 years later, and now they're walking away with tens of thousands of dollars. So unless you're following those rules, though, it's like the back pay train stopped, your back pay got off of it, and the train kept going. And when you start your claim, they get back on the train, and the train goes, but then it hasn't gone as far. I hope that analogy makes sense so far. Now, let's take some examples. Very general and simple examples, because this will give you just basic education. And then I'll share another example which will add some complexity, and will just educate you enough to see why it's complicated. So, let's take a veteran who's going for migraines. They have no overall rating, and that's what makes this easy actually. It's like they're not getting anything right now from the VA. So let's say they're going for migraines, they qualify for 50%, it's their belief that they're 50, and they have the evidence to back it up. Well, let's say they file a claim in January 2024. I'm going to use very round numbers. It's not going to be accurate, but if I'm too accurate, it's going to confuse you. So I'm going to use simple numbers. January 2024, they file a claim for migraines, and then let's say it resolves in January 2025, 12 months later. Okay, the veteran won 0%. They're not getting any money from the VA. Obviously, this veteran's not happy. So what are they going to do if they want the back pay? Remember, they have to file another claim within that 365-day window of the last decision. Let's say it was January 1st, 2025, when they got the 0%. Well, they have 365 days from January 1st, 2025. The dates are starting to get crazy, even though they're simpler. Let's say the veteran's like, I'm going to file a claim in June 2025. So 6 months within that 365-day window, they're good. It resolves January 1st, 2026. Yeah, 2026. 2 years later, it resolves at 30%. Remember, this veteran was getting 0. Now they're at 30. For round numbers, let's say they're getting $500 per month. Hopefully you're with me. Now, because they kept following the back pay train, 365-day rule, when this veteran got the 30% and they're getting $500 a month, and that $500 at 30 may be right, may be wrong, round numbers. But what the VA will do is, since they followed that rule, they will back pay them all the way back to January 2024. 24 months times $500 is like 12 grand, something like that. But here's the thing. The veteran thinks they're at 50%. So they'll keep fighting. Let's say the veteran's like, I want to keep fighting, and they file another claim 6 months after that latest decision in January 2000. I think we're like we're in 2026 now. So June 2026, this veteran files another increase, or an increase for the migraines at 30 to get the 50. For round numbers, let's say it resolves in January 2027, 3 years after they started, veteran finally gets the 50%. Well, how does the VA calculate this back pay? Well, it goes off your overall rating, by the way. So most times. So it's like 30%, you were getting $500 at 50%, let's say you get 1,000, it doubles. You probably get more at 50%, but round numbers. So what the VA will do is say, well, since the back pay train is still going, you should have been getting paid 50% all the way back here at the beginning. So you're already getting 500 at 30 for the migraines. Now you're getting 1,000, let's say, for the 50. So they will go all the way back to the start and pay you the difference. So the difference is $500 in this example. So it's been 3 years. So they'll go all the way back to the beginning in January 2024. That's 36 months times 500. I don't want to do the math. That's close to 20K, I think. But that's how that works. It's a very general education. But here's the thing. If you went for multiple conditions and they're all like at different train tracks, well, the calculation gets pretty funky now. And so let's throw a tangent in here. Let's say this veteran won their claim in January 2027, like I mentioned in this example. But let's say you had won 3 other claims at 10%, this veteran did, and they're already at 50 overall. Well, getting 50 on the migraines may not, you might not get an additional $500 per month. That's not how it works. Like, let's say you're at 50 or 60% when you win the claim for migraines. You're already at 50% from these other claims. And now you get 50% for the migraines, and maybe that only puts you from 50 overall to 60 overall. So they'll take the difference from 50 overall to 60, which might only be like $200, not $5. And that's how they'll do the calculation. Now, again, it's situational. That's a very general explanation. So if that's confusing, it's meant to be so that you ask the person who's either helping you, or you do your own research and do your own calculations. But just know, the migraines example was very simple because it's one condition and the veteran was at 0% when they started. Now, if they did multiple conditions and they were already at like 80% overall, it's like, that's when things get complicated and you get less money on the back pay, things like that. Now, if you remember nothing else in this video, remember that 365 days within the last decision, you want to file a claim so that you can keep the back pay train rolling. Now, don't file a losing claim though. Make sure you give it your best shot. Don't just clog up the system, right? Make sure that you deserve it. Make sure that you're doing the work and file a good claim. Because in my opinion, that's what's going to help you maximize your benefits and get everything you deserve along with the back pay. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about me, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care now.